Hello everyone and welcome back to Cognoto Key. Every single second we're creating just a mind-boggling amount of data, enough to fill hundreds of thousands of libraries. So how in the world does anyone find that one specific piece of information they need, like right now? Well, that's where this really clever tool called the Data Cube comes into play. And today we're going to break down exactly what it is and how it works.
So just picture a huge company. Think of an Amazon or a Flipkart. You tap buy on your phone and boom, a number changes somewhere. Now think about that happening millions of times a day for millions of products across thousands of cities. If you tried to ask a regular old database, hey, show me this specific trend, you'd probably be waiting for hours, maybe even days. So how do these guys get answers in like a split second? It's not magic, I promise. It's all about some really smart design.
All right, so this whole challenge, this need for instant answers, it all comes down to one thing: data overload. We're practically drowning in data. So before we get to the solution, let's just take a second to really grasp the size of the problem.
Okay, let's use this example of a company. All electronics. Imagine they're tracking every single item in every store sold on every single day. We're talking about billions and billions of little data points. Now, if you wanted to find out, say, what was the top-selling phone in Bangalore during Diwali last year, trying to dig through all that raw data, oh my God, it would be a total nightmare. It's literally like trying to find one specific grain of sand on the entire beach.
So if digging through all that raw data is just not an option, then what do you do? Well, there is a really elegant solution, a piece of tech built just for this kind of problem. And that, my friends, is the hero of our story today, the Data Cube.
Okay, so what exactly is a data cube? Don't worry, the technical definition can sound a bit scary, but it's actually pretty simple. The best way to think about it is like a Rubik's Cube. But instead of different colors, each side represents a different part of your data. It's not just a flat, boring spreadsheet. It's this smart, multi-sided structure that's already organized and summarized all the important info for you, just waiting for you to play with it.
The key to understanding it is knowing it has two main parts. First, you have what are called dimensions. Think of these as your perspectives, things like time, location, or the item itself. Basically, the what, where, and when. And then you have the facts. These are the actual numbers you care about, like sales figures or profit. What the cube does so brilliantly is it prearranges all of these facts based on those dimensions.
Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Not all data cubes are the same. They actually come in a couple of different flavors, and the difference between them is kind of like playing with Lego. Are you the type who likes a pre-built set that's ready to go, or do you want that giant box of bricks so you can build whatever you want?
So on one hand, you have MOLAP. Think of this one as that pre-built Lego set. It's a special structure designed for one thing and one thing only: pure, incredible speed. This is what you'd want if you are a financial analyst who needs answers like yesterday. Then on the other hand, you have ROLAP. This is your giant box of Lego bricks. It uses regular database tables, which makes it super flexible and able to handle huge growing amounts of data. Perfect for a massive e-commerce site that's adding millions of new sales records every single day.
And of course, because we always want the best of both worlds, right? There's a hybrid version called HOLAP. And yeah, you guessed it, it combines the crazy speed of MOLAP with the awesome scalability of ROLAP.
Okay, so we've got the basic structure down. We know what a data cube is made of, but now for the fun part. How do we actually use it? How do we play with this thing to find all those hidden secrets in the data? Well, that's where your analytical toolkit comes in.
There are basically four main moves you can make to explore the data from every possible angle. We have roll up, drill down, slice and dice, and then, my personal favorite, pivot. Let's quickly go through each one.
First, we've got roll up. The easiest way to think of this is zooming out. You're going from the details to the big picture. So, for example, if you have sales data for every city in India, you could roll up that data to see the total sales for the entire country. Simple, right?
And as you might have guessed, drill down is the exact opposite. This is zooming in. So you have your total sales for the country, and now you want to see the details. You drill down to see the sales broken down by each state, or even by each city. You're going from the summary back down into the nitty-gritty.
All right, now for slice and dice. This one is all about isolating a specific view. A slice is like taking a cross-section of your cube. Imagine you look at your sales data, but only for electronics. You've just taken a slice. Now, dicing is when you get even more specific. You take that electronics slice and you say, okay, now only show me sales in Mumbai and only for Q4. You're zeroing in on a very specific little block of data.
And finally, we have pivot. This is super powerful. It doesn't change your data at all. It just changes your perspective. So let's say you're looking at a chart of products versus sales. With a single click, you can pivot it to show time versus sales instead. It's the same information, you're rotating the cube to look at it from a completely different angle. It's amazing what you can find just by changing your point of view.
So we've seen what a data cube is, we've seen the cool things you can do with it, but let's get to the bottom line. Why does all of this actually matter? What's the big deal here? What's the payoff?
Well, the benefits are huge. We're talking about way faster analysis, which means you can create much better visuals and reports. Your whole data system becomes more efficient. And it's not just theory. Think about a service like Netflix. The reason they can recommend your next favorite show with such spooky accuracy is because they use concepts like this to instantly analyze what millions of people are watching.
Look, if there's just one thing you take away from this, let it be this. A data cube basically transforms a huge, messy pile of data into a powerful tool you can actually use to find real insights. It turns overwhelming chaos into clarity.
And that really leaves me with a final thought for you to chew on. In your own world, what kind of hidden patterns or amazing opportunities are sitting right there in your data, just waiting to be discovered with a simple pivot?
I really hope this explainer helped make sense of data cubes. If you enjoyed this, it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to Cognodo. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button and share this with anyone you think might find it useful. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.